from the Chop Meat Podcast. We have a very special guest today. First of all, I'm Jamie Knott. This is Felipe Santos. And we have the New Jersey legend, Frankie Edgar. What's going on, Frankie? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Excellent, good, man. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. A little trek up the Parkway, in the morning. It's not so bad.
Appreciate you making the drive, bro.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah, plenty.
I'm going to try and keep relaxed. I'm a fan, I'm going to stay calm this episode, let you do some of the talking. But no, I definitely appreciate you being on. Thank you very much for that. It means a lot. And maybe you can kickstart us. We're on, what is this, episode 9 now?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. We're just in the beginning, bro.
Right,
and I know you have
no turning back.
No turning back. I know you have a podcast. You mentioned before, we talked a little bit before we got on air, but that you're like 180 episodes in, man. So, that's awesome, bro. Tell me a little bit about how you grew up, where you're from, what your childhood looked like.
I'm a Jersey guy, born and raised. I actually was born in North Jersey. I was born in Summit Hospital. My parents lived, I think, in Kenilworth at the time, so I lived there till maybe 2 or 3 years old.
Okay.
And I think my parents had a pizzeria at the time up in Roseland Pizzeria.
An Italian family with a pizzeria? Yeah, I never heard that story before.
Yeah. Then my father, he got a job down in for AT&T, in Lincroft. So we used to vacation down the shore as a family all the time in the summer. I think I have my earliest memories were, being on the beach with my cousins and stuff. So, Lavalette area. So I think, driving through Toms River, this is the spot for us. They decided to move down south. At that time, I think Toms River was, one of the fastest growing communities in America, So they moved down there. Parents got divorced, typical stuff like that. My mother got remarried, ended up having a stepfather, typical,
how'd that work out? I have a similar kind of story. My stepfather's like my dad today.
That's kind of
because
like
my father's was never really a father in any way, shape, or form. So how'd that is?
Yeah, no, I was close to my father. It was definitely a little estranged. It was obviously issues between him and my mother, and
Sure.
police had to get involved and stuff like that.
I mean, that makes it an American family.
Yeah, but again, my father, he lost his license several times throughout his life, so that always put a strain on our relationship as well. But later in life, we got closer. Once I had kids, obviously, he was around a bunch. He had since passed away, though, in 2018 from cancer. But my stepfather, like your case, he's super close to me. He kind of raised me,
Right.
big part, big influence of who I am. He owns a plumbing company. I mean, I was a plumber out of college for, in the first couple of years of my fighting career. I was even still a plumber. I was in the union. And, but that was instrumental in my life.
It's funny you mentioned you were still a plumber when you joined the UFC, right? When you were still fighting?
Yeah.
Because Pantoja, right? I just read his story. Guy was driving Uber,
driver,
bro.
Yeah, couple.
That's wild, right? He just won a championship, right? Last Saturday, he was
crazy.
driving Uber 3 weeks ago. I mean, that just goes to show you, right? That
it's not.
It's not easy, bro.
It's not easy, but he felt like that's what I like. I like that the guy didn't say. Because you see this a lot in the gym is these kids they don't want to grow up, so they fight. You know what I mean? It's like I'm fighting, I'm chasing a dream. Bro, I chased a dream, but I still had to fucking pay my bills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
no doubt about it.
Pantoja, he couldn't be like he had to feed himself, and he's still chasing the dream.
And he had 4 kids. He has 4 kids, right? He's got 4 boys.
Right. Yeah.
And dude, you know what? He had a similar story. His first remark after they interviewed him in the ring was, I hope I got the love of my father finally.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's something that drives him. So
yeah,
that was a huge part of my childhood and adolescence. I didn't realize it, but, I had abandonment issues. Like,
right.
How could this guy not love me? Like, am I not good enough?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I chased that feeling well into my 20s, into my late 20s,
I think what really highlights it probably is when you have kids yourself. Then you see, like, damn, I could never be that. I have to treat my kids a certain way. Maybe it's because of the way you were treated before or how you wanted to be treated,
Yeah, I think
it's important to what you were saying. So like the facade of like Instagram online, it's like, cool, I just want to be a fighter. I just want to train. I don't want to do all the other stuff behind it. And the reality is not just a fight or something. Everything looks very just like, cool, you could just go get it, right? Right now, what everybody's saying is like, be your own boss, be your own entrepreneur, and there's a lot. First, it's not for everybody. Right? Let's be honest. Sounds really good. You actually work a lot more than just like getting a 9 to 5. But second, like I was a union carpenter too before, you know, I did all the salons and all the real estate and everything. Like that's what paid my bills, and that's what got me to here.
Right.
So like I think that message is really important too. And also, you got, how many kids you got?
3 kids.
You got 3 kids. I got 2.
I got 3.
You got 3. I think it's important for us to like set that example, not just for our kids, but for everybody else. That it's not like we all want to take care of our kids and make sure they do really good and probably give them what they want. But I know for me, like it's that balance of like, listen, it's not that easy. You gotta work hard, and you gotta show them. You know what I mean? Yeah,
you gotta instill that in kids, and like this whole new world with social media. Social media is just, it's crazy, and it's very cool because we all can connect, and you know, it's a great way to learn stuff. But like, you know, it has a lot of negatives, as we know, especially for these kids. They think, you know, everything is so easy to get and so ready to lay the elbow without, you know, putting the work in.
That's what I'm finding. So, like the issue is like Instagram, right? It's fucking instant. All the information, everything.
And everybody has a voice.
Right. Everybody. Who's at what party? Who's not there? I didn't know that stuff when I was 12. Like you didn't get invited to something you didn't know.
Right.
Shit was going on.
There was no
4 blocks away. You had no clue, right? Now these kids get their feelings hurt like in a heartbeat, you know?
Yeah.
And but it is good for that aspect. Like I keep in touch with family members in Baltimore and stuff. If you use it for what's right, then it's like anything in life, though, right?
It's like prescription drugs. Like, if you're going through pain, you use it for the right thing.
Right,
If you're fucking crushing pills and
that's not how you're supposed to use those. Oh my bad. But you're absolutely right, Frankie. You were saying like the way you are now, or you know, the way you thought about things was for your kids, right? You had to grow up, and sometimes learning what not to do is way better than learning what to do, right?
Yeah,
and you kind of got that from maybe your dad, or you know.
I mean, you know, like, what do they say? Like one brother, you know, 2 brothers, same dad. Dad was an alcoholic. One brother ended up like the dad. The other brother ended up not like the dad because of the way their dad was.
That's
you know,
right.
so everything's, I guess, perspective and how you look at it. You know,
it's similar to that kind of in my family. You know, my brother's like kind of estranged. I don't really talk to him that much. You know, he's got a drinking problem, but that's not for me to tell him. He's got to figure that shit out on his own.
Right.
He's going to hate me saying that, but, you know, maybe it'll bring us together.
Yeah.
Listen, a fight's better than not talking at all, as far as I'm concerned.
For sure.
Especially growing up in my household.
For the betterment of someone, too, you know?
No doubt about it. Yeah, absolutely.
So talk to us a little bit about, like, how you got into fighting? You know what I mean? And not just fighting, like, was it something that you loved? Did you wrestle before that?
Yeah. I wrestled as a seventh grade all the way through to college. You know, grew up in like just scrapping in the street, you know, regular kid stuff, you know, like Jersey Shore kid stuff, fighting on the boardwalk all the time.
Just Jersey stuff in general, right?
Midway cheesesteaks, just knocking people out.
Yeah, you know. And
you're not a big dude, so did people think they could take advantage and shit?
Time,
you were
all
like,
the time.
all right, bro, take them down and fucking, you know, arm bar.
Especially you with your lady on the boardwalk, you know, and like, I get it. You're with a good looking female.
Right.
Guy's gonna look. Well, go ahead. But then, like, don't stare at me acting like you're trying to punk me, because they ain't gonna play, you know. So a couple times situations like that arise, you know.
Yeah.
But all the stuff we know, it's like growing up in Jersey.
Yeah, right.
And,
did you break some arms or what?
No, I mean, I didn't know jiu-jitsu back then.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. I mean, I knew how to wrestle, and I knew how to throw punches.
Okay.
But I didn't know jiu-jitsu, so thankfully, I didn't break any arms. You know? That might have been a lawsuit or something.
When did you start jiu-jitsu?
Right, as soon as I finished college, right out of college, so 2005 I started training jiu-jitsu. I wasn't really a formal jiu-jitsu. I was learning grappling from just from the gym that I found close to my house. But in 2008, I was with Ricardo Almeida. That's when I kind of formally, you know, started my jiu-jitsu.
He's the guy, right?
Yeah,
he's like
legend,
super legend, right?
For
what
sure.
degree black belt is he?
Oh, at this point, I don't know. He's got to be a 6th or something. I don't even know. Yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you still grapple with him weekly? Or
yeah.
what?
Well, he is in Florida and in Jersey, so he comes back and forth. But whenever he's here, I'm always over there. You know.
I mean, how quick does he fucking
I'm there
wrap
training
you
all
up?
his guys anyway. You know?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Does he wrap you up like a pretzel in fucking under a minute or what? I mean,
he's a big guy and. He doesn't roll as much. We don't roll as much as we used to.
Okay.
But he was always nice. He was always gracious towards me. I'll say that.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Clarion University.
Where is that?
Western PA. It's like an hour and a half north of Pittsburgh.
How the fuck did you find
well,
that
I mean, wrestling.
You didn't commute.
Wrestling. You know, I got a scholarship to go there. So they recruited me. I went on the visit. I ended up getting a full scholarship. That's one of the reasons, probably the biggest reason I went there. My dad's like, "Yo, you're this is where we're going. We're not paying for school." I'm like, "All right, I get it." But the coaches after that was really they're a bunch of little guys. I thought it'd be a perfect spot for me.
Awesome.
But it was definitely a culture shock.
I'm sure, man. In the middle of
there's like 3
PA.
Traffic lights in that town. College town, 3 traffic lights. I'm like, bro.
You must have taken that place over.
No one goes around, nobody. I'm like, yo, what are we doing here?
What'd you study over there?
Wrestling. I mean, honestly, I ended up being a political science major. I was taking one class, like a intro to law or some kind of law class, and the professor was a lawyer in town. He was telling us how to get out of shit, and I'm like, oh, I like this.
Like loopholes.
Like telling us the loopholes. I'm like, dude, I kind of like law. I think I'm gonna be a lawyer. So I looked at all the majors in political science. I'm like, all right, I could do something with that. But I didn't do anything with
But you knew you wanted to like wrestle and fight already.
Well, no, I didn't. No, because I mean, in 2000. I mean, UFC came out in 93, and then it kind of went underground for a while. I think right when I was in college, like 2003, you started, that's like when Tito and Matt Hughes and Couture and Chuck Liddell started coming around. But it still wasn't like a career option until Ultimate Fighter came out. And that was actually my senior year of college. After wrestling season, the team would all get together, watch it, and then we go out there and try to fight in the yard and everything. And one of the guys on the show, Josh Koscheck, he was wrestled for Edinburgh, which was also in our conference. So I kind of knew him. I knew of him very well. And I was like, oh, man. Another guy was a wrestler on the show. I'm like, I'm going to give this a shot. I didn't even know. I just wanted to say, I want to fight. I wanted to continue to compete. Kind of wrestling kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I wanted to be a national champion. That wasn't really in my cards. All-American. I lost in triple overtime, All-American match.
Wow.
So I was really still, that definitely ate at me, and, I had that drive to compete still. So, but some guys can compete in wrestling. I knew I was kind of far off from the top guys in wrestling, but I was like, let me give this fighting stuff a try. So, again, I just wanted to fight. I didn't even care about the money at the point. I was in the union, working as a plumber, busting my ass. I'm like, my first fight ever actually was in the Bronx, the underground fight in a boxing gym. And yeah, it was. I was training for like 4 weeks, and I took a fight, ended up being the main event. No weigh-in. It was just going to be one 15-minute round. No rules.
Oh, my God.
And we're in there, and we're scrapping, and, he hits me with a knee. I end up finishing him like a ground and pound, and I won, and but I broke my face in that fight. Yeah. And I didn't know it until I was out to eat. Actually, we were at like, where were we? Like some fucking Portuguese restaurant in Newark. Like,
you probably know it, right? Yeah, Iberia?
Yeah, I think it was Iberia, actually. Right? I think it was
That's
Iberia.
A good place after a fight.
Yeah, and
I broke my face. What specifically? Your orbital? Like,
yeah, my orbital. Yeah. Okay. And but I didn't look like I even got to a fight at the moment. I mean, the fight was like 3 minutes long. But he did hit me with a good knee in the first 10 seconds.
Thank God it was that quick in, right? You still had your adrenaline and shit.
I was like, fuck. I was like, bro, I ain't. This is like, and I remember because the night before my coach came over, Steve Rivera. Oh, like my parents were like, yo, tell Frankie not. They were like, what the fuck are you doing fighting? You just graduated from college. You're in the union. Well, why are you trying to fight? So they sent him over to kind of talk me out of it, And I'm like, yo, I don't care what you say.
Right.
This is happening, my man.
You had that. Did you have that thought and that drive from losing that triple overtime? Did that kind of drive you a little bit or what?
I'm sure. I mean, I don't like losing no matter what.
Okay.
Like, even if I lost a million times, I don't want to lose 1,000,001.
Right,
if I won 1,000,000 times, I don't want to lose to that last.
You just had that competitive spirit.
Yeah, it's just type of person.
Were you like that always since you were a kid?
I was, yeah. Okay, definitely. I mean, I compete on fucking Parkway. You know what I mean? So.
Yo, it's funny because I'm like the same way. It doesn't matter what we're doing. Yeah. I was down with my parents in Delaware. They retired down in Rehoboth. I was riding bikes with Biden. No, I wasn't. We're not going to get into that. But anyway, we were playing fucking cornhole. And me and my dad played like all weekend. He's ultra competitive. He beat me one game, the whole weekend, and it's all he wants to talk about. I was like, bro, what about the 16 games? I shut him out the last game. He's texting me. I'm driving home. He's like, how'd that feel? That
That's
loss,
correct.
how'd that feel? You know what I mean? But
that's what, like,
we
my
just
one
have that
son, man,
competitive
I
edge,
can't
bro.
do anything with him because we're gonna bang out.
Like,
My
you
son,
guys are gonna-
he's just like, he's super competitive, and I know how to get
Does
under
he get
his
upset?
skin. Oh, he gets
Oh, you know
so
his
mad.
buttons. You push
Yeah,
all
he
his
gets
buttons and
so
everything.
mad. He
I do
gets
that with
so
my
mad.
son,
Yeah,
too. Same
yeah.
thing.
Yo, but those are the people that make a difference in this world. I feel
Yeah,
like, man, like,
yeah.
you know, they have that drive from somewhere, that that competitive edge, that spirit. Like, they're gonna figure it out, man, and do something good. You know?
Yeah.
Did you know, like, you didn't want to be mediocre?
Oh, yeah.
At life, like, I know you say competitive, but and that's in your sport, but just like in everything.
In everything,
like,
right? I just didn't want to be a loser.
Yeah.
You know, that was a big thing I always thought about. You know, I don't know what that comes from. It's not like.
Did you view your dad maybe that way?
No, I don't know. Maybe,
like,
you know, I don't think he was never a loser. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe I had some family members that maybe weren't the most successful, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that.
You're being
You know what I mean?
very politically correct right now. I can feel it because I have some of those family members that aren't that successful either, bro. You know what I mean?
Is that more like something to prove, and maybe to yourself, and not to everybody else?
Yeah, I think we all have something to prove, right? I mean, everyone can say, "Oh, I'm not a prove," but you're if you're not proving it to someone, you're proving it to yourself, right?
Yeah.
You know.
But there's a thing. So, and we talk about this lots of times too, where it's like a lot of our friends will be like, "Cool, you've reached this pinnacle of success. You're good now. Like, you proved yourself." And I'm like, "Nah, it has nothing to do with that. Like, there's a drive, there's ambition.
Yeah, it's like
there's the want for more."
Yeah, I don't know who I heard talking about it. Something like some rich guy. They're like, "Hey, are your kids gonna work?" He's like, "Hell yeah, they're gonna work." Because like, dude, you need purpose. That's what it is. It's purpose, right? If you don't have purpose, what the hell's the point of doing
what are you
this?
getting up for every day, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know, even if you have all the money in the world with no purpose, like, what kind of life is that?
It's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to retire on a beach and drink fucking margaritas, and then, like, after the first
first 2 days, like, what the by 2 o'clock?
No,
I'm
out. Yeah, half
By
hour in.
the third margarita, you're looking for something to get into. You're gonna scrap with somebody on the beach.
Exactly.
So did you win any money that first fight in the Bronx?
You know, it was it's considered you
got to walk out of there.
You get $10 for every ticket you sell. So I had 16 people come, so I made $160.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like concerts.
Wow, bro.
I used to be in a band when I was younger, and they're like, "Yo, you could play here." We played at some place, Obsessions, and I opened up for my friends at CBGBs. Like, they opened, like, they were the star, and we were just like the filler. But they were like, "Yeah, you'll get paid if you sell all your tickets."
Yeah,
$10 a ticket.
And he was from New York, so he had you know, he was the whole crowd talking drunk to me the whole time.
Oh wow!
After I got up, I was talking so much shit to everybody. Yeah.
Did you scoot out of there real quick or what?
Yeah. Well, I had my whole team with me.
I'm
we
sure
were
you
good.
did.
We were good. Yeah.
So talk to me about your first UFC experience. Like, you got signed, right? The Fertittas bought it. It became something very different.
Yeah. Well, you know, I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter show.
Okay.
Like I said, what got me interested was the Ultimate Fighter 1. So this was Ultimate Fighter 5, which was the first season they did 155 pounds lightweight. At the time, lightweight was the lowest weight you can go. There was nothing lower. Even when I first started fighting, I don't think lightweight existed in the UFC at that time. Like,
what was first, 170?
170, yeah.
So that's why Koscheck started at 170, right?
But by that time they had the 105,
okay.
the 155
Got
rather.
it.
But when I first started, they didn't even have it, and they added it on or something like that, or maybe that was even they already added on because Jens Pulver and BJ Penn were the coaches. So those two were fighting for the
45,
55 pound belt lightweight, and yeah, I tried out for the show, and I thought I was 100% going to make it. You know, I was like, I'm making this fucking thing. I fought Jim Miller.
Absolutely.
I fought Jim Miller like a month before in Atlantic City. It was my last fight before I got into the UFC.
Okay.
So then we're going down there, which Jim Miller kicked a piece of my ear off my head.
Holy shit!
I picked a piece of that cauliflower off. And
Jim is still fighting, right?
He's still fighting, man.
Didn't he fight last month or 2 months ago?
Yeah, he's a stud, man.
Bro, where's he at? 45 fucking fights?
Yeah, he's the most fights ever in UFC. Yeah.
That's insane, dude. He's a Jersey kid also, right?
Yep.
Where's he from?
He's from Sparta.
Sparta, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up there.
Bro, that's wild. He's got a gym up in this area somewhere.
Sparta, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think somewhere out there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a stud, right? He looks good, man.
Yeah, he's like a farm boy. He's like it's crazy how Jersey can have so many different type of people.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got the shore guys, the city guys, and you got the dudes got like tackling pigs and shit out there.
So run us through that, bro. You get signed like.
So yeah, so I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter. I thought I was gonna get picked. The way they had it back then, you do like a little bit of grappling.
Okay.
You do a little bit of pad work, and you have to pass every. So I passed the grappling, I passed the pad work. I go to the producers, talk to them, like, all right, we're gonna give you a call. And then by the time we landed, like a dude I was with got a call and I didn't. I'm like, damn, how did I not get picked? And I think it's because in front of the producer I was a quiet kid, especially at that time, kind of real respectful.
Right.
They're looking for guys that are going to create turmoil and drama on the show.
Right.
So I didn't get picked. So I was like, all right, whatever. I was a little pissed, but put my head down. I'm fucking still a plumber. It's not that big a deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? I still got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Right.
So, that was I think like in like November, and then January one night I get a call from my then manager saying, yeah, Joe Silva, who was the matchmaker at the time of UFC, said some guy got hurt. They want you to come in and take his place. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. And that was like I got a call on 4 weeks notice. Ended up fighting Tyson Griffin.
Wow.
And
it's a big name, bro.
Yeah, he was undefeated at the time. He beat Uriah Faber. He beat a couple other, Dwayne Ludwig, I think, at the time. So he was like really highly talented. I was just kind of coming to be like an opponent for this dude, I feel like, But I came in there and we had the fight of the night, like a banger of a fight. Got caught in a knee bar at the end.
What year was this?
This was 2007.
2007.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And
before you even started training jiu-jitsu.
Well, I mean, before I was with Ricardo. I knew, but yeah, that's probably why I got caught.
I mean, like real, like,
real,
you know what
official,
I mean?
Yeah,
yes.
That's probably why I got caught in a knee bar.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You would never get caught in a knee bar now, right?
Yeah. And
or you wouldn't tap from it. You
I didn't tap in. I knee popped a couple times too.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, there was like probably 45 seconds left. So as he's going, I'm like, you're gonna take it home, baby. I felt I did enough to win, and I got my hand raised. I got fight of the night.
Oh wow,
which was awesome. Which was at that time my contract, entry level contract back then, which was 3-3, 3,000 a show, 3,000 a win. But I got a $20,000
huge, right?
bonus, which was crazy.
You got a little taste, bro.
Yeah, bro.
How did that feel, man?
Oh man, I bought my first real car. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a beautiful thing, dude.
Yeah.
You remember, where were you when you got the call? Like, what was going on? Was it like
I remember?
Change your life moment,
I just got done working out. I'm home. I was sitting under like a coffee table like that, eating my dinner, watching TV, and I got a call, and I was like, I called fucking everybody I knew right after that.
What was your second fight? My
second fight was against Mark Bocek, who was like this jiu-jitsu ace, supposedly. I felt like the UFC was trying to give it to me a little bit,
Okay.
Like this guy, all right, this guy's. Well, the thing is the WEC was around. You ever heard of WEC?
Sure.
World Extreme Cage Fighting, which UFC bought. So they owned it at the time. They were running it separately. Now WEC had 145, 135. They had the lower weights, so they wanted me to go down to 45 because they knew I cut no weight. I literally weighed 153 pounds pretty much.
Okay. That's your walking weight.
Yeah, my first weigh-in when I fought Tyson Griffin. My first weigh-in. I remember going down to the weigh-in with my boy Chris Ligori, and I'm like, bro, let's go stop it. Let's go stop this food court. Let me get a cheesesteak real quick because I don't want to be too light when I get on the scale. So like I was really not cutting any weight, and all these guys they cut quite a bit of weight. 20.
Yeah, Tyson was a big dude. I remember, bro.
Thick,
he was fucking
thick.
Jacked, right?
Yeah, real thick guy
for that class.
So they wanted me to go to 45 the whole time, and I just, I didn't want to do that. So I think they were kind of trying to get me down there by throwing me, tough opponents, which is cool. I mean, I didn't give a shit. My whole thing was, I want to see if I'm the best, we're gonna fucking find out.
Right.
Right. And this guy Bocek, he was like a world class jiu-jitsu guy at the time. I was like, damn, set me up with a jiu-jitsu guy because I caught in an e-bar. I'm like, all right, all right. And I go out there and I kind of boxed him up. I dropped him and I finished him with punches.
Oh, nice, bro.
Yeah.
How far after that was, like, your second fight was how far after your first fight?
My first fight was in February. My second fight was in March. Or no, not March. I'm sorry. August.
I was gonna say, wow, that was back to back to back.
August, yeah.
Did they give you like a time frame when you got?
No, I was consistent. I think that fight I fought that year. I fought 3 times that year, but then pretty much I fought 2 times a year, consistently for my whole career.
And you still had your job.
I had my job until my 3rd fight in UFC, and then after that, I went full time, just training.
Kind of like paid for
yeah, well, because I made it to what it is. I made it to that next contract, and my wife was making pretty good money too.
So 3 fights is the first contract.
3 fights, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time. They're all different nowadays,
Right.
but yeah, at that time.
Who was your third fight?
My third fight was Spencer Fisher, and at the time, I felt like I had a great escalation to my career.
Those are all big names.
Yeah,
though.
no,
You know,
yeah,
like, you know, as a
third fight in UFC,
that's
you're
crazy.
fighting. But he just before he fought me, he recently fought for #1 contendership, and he lost. So I'm like, so he lost in a semi. In other words, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I thought that was perfect, escalation in my opponents and whatnot. And again, I'm not. I was my whole career. You said, "Do you want to fight?" Yes. I don't care who it is.
I
never said
no matter what.
Never.
It wasn't even a question, and they knew that. I mean, that's you know,
and that's
you
why
came to be that guy, bro. Right?
That's what I didn't do this, And I'm not saying it's wrong. Like a lot of guys nowadays, they fight certain fights. They wait till they get their contract up and. Look, that's probably the best way to do it. To be honest with you, business-wise and everything. But like I said, my thing was I want to see if I'm the best, So give me whoever you want.
So if you could turn back time, you might pick and choose a little more.
I don't know. I mean, hey, the way things went, I'm cool. Maybe if I started in this era, maybe I would.
Okay.
But
understood.
Back then, the way things went, I can't complain.
At the time, the opportunities that were popping up and everything, it's like, and we talk about that too, right? Which is like whenever something pops, just say yes and figure it out.
Yeah.
Just step up because if you wait too long, opportunity disappears and then you're not going to be able. And it's easy to say in hindsight, I would have done it differently.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, man? Like everyone's like, oh, do you wish anything would be different? Like, yeah, I wish I never fucking lost. You know what I mean? But like, that ain't real.
Wish I got paid more.
Yeah, I wish I didn't break my nose. Wish I didn't have cauliflower yet. But it all comes with it, and every single thing that happens to you makes you the person you are, right?
No doubt about that.
That's like saying I wish they removed all the lessons I learned.
Yeah, right.
You can't change.
That's how you get experience,
What happened after Spencer? You beat Spencer.
I beat Spencer. Yeah.
He was a lefty.
He was a southpaw.
Yeah, I remember Spencer. Yeah.
And I beat him, and he was like, now that's what I'm saying. Like, I was struck Bocek to like, all right, let's give him a striker.
Yeah.
And now I just took him. I just ragdolled him, just took him down the whole time. For pretty much the majority of that fight. That fight was actually in Jersey too. It was in Newark. That was the first UFC fight at the Prudential Center.
I think I was there. I think I got asked to leave because I was blackout drunk in the hallway or something. I'm pretty sure. I had like airline bottles around my belt buckle or something.
There's fights in Jersey.
What year was that, dude?
That was in 08.
Yep, sounds about right.
Or no, that was 07. That was 07
still. Yeah, your third fight in 07?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was your second contract? What did that look like? I mean, you were 3-0 at this point, right?
Yeah, 3-0. I mean, I guess I'd be considered top 10 in the world at that point because Spencer Fisher probably would have been. They didn't have the rankings back then, but that probably would have been top 10. Broke top 10, and I don't know what it was 3-3, 6-6, 9-9. I was probably making like 15-15 at that point.
Okay. You were feeling yourself a little bit?
I mean, I still was. It wasn't like, I knew it wasn't an end all, obviously.
Right.
But I knew there was some potential in it.
And you knew you could make a living at that point, too,
I could make enough of a living, just to supplement everything I'm doing. Yeah.
What does your wife do? You mentioned that
she was at the time, she was a real estate agent.
Okay.
Yeah. Then she ended up a pharmaceutical rep. She was a real estate agent in 07, 08. Yeah.
It's a tough time.
Yeah. Do you remember Foxton's? Remember Foxton's?
I don't. No?
It was a realty company. It's actually a British realty company. They came over here for a little bit. They had those little Mini Coopers with the flowers on them.
Oh, that's funny. Now that you say that, I can picture that. But
so she worked for them. They were like, I guess I don't really know how that world works, but they get leads. So like, she had a lot of volume. So she dealt with so many more, buyers and sellers than just a regular realtor agent.
Okay.
So she was killing it. She's really good at sales. Then she ends up pharmaceutical rep. Was making pretty good money at the time, so I definitely offsetted us until
Did you start getting any sponsorships? Or
Yeah, definitely got some sponsors. First fight in UFC, because back then you could wear shorts, shirt, your own stuff, so you could have you could get a fucking walking banner at that for the most
Everybody
part.
Was basically right.
Yeah,
and
that sucks, man, because I definitely. That made some good money doing that, and that helps pay for you got to pay your manager 10%, you got to pay your coaches 10%, and then you got to pay taxes. So that helped alleviate some of that stuff.
And how'd you learn the business aspect of it? I know a lot of it was probably just like as you went, right?
As I went, dude, I went through
component, and it's brand new, pretty much.
Brand new, yeah.
And you're just a fighter at that point, right? You just want to fucking scrap and knock people out.
I'll tell you a story, but all right. So I'm on my 4th manager right now, but I've been with him for the last 12 years now. He's the man.
I met
Ali. No. That's he's just a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
I thought he's an attorney, but he's a friend of mine.
Okay. Is he your actual attorney or no?
No, he is. He helps me.
You have more than one?
No. Okay. He's the only guy.
He manages other aspects of your life.
Yes. But my first manager. Now this is when I was fighting, like I said, in the Bronx.
Underground.
I'm like making $100, or then I think my first pro fight I made I sold a lot of tickets. To there. I stole over 100 tickets or something, and I think I made maybe $1,000, $1,200. I'm like, dude, this is nothing.
Right.
I'm still getting up working in the morning. It's like nothing to me. It's just more like I could, for the weekend, I'm balling. So, where are they going with this?
Your first manager was
first manager. So we're in the gym. This guy comes down. I'm not gonna say his name. He comes down. This guy from. Crooked nose guy from New York, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And everybody, he seems like a good guy, he's a good talker. He also holds mitts and stuff. He got us all to sign a contract. And my boy, who actually fought in the UFC, he's like, he's the veteran. I'm considering he's younger than me, but he's been around the block longer. He signs his contract. Everyone else signs contract. I'm like, all right, here, I signed a contract. I signed a 5-year contract that he gets 33 1/3%.
Oh God!
So 1/3%. That was like an old school box contract. Those were like old school box contracts where you give 33 1/3% of your contract, but they give you housing, a car, stipend, all that stuff. We didn't give us any of that stuff. Yeah. He just was taking 33 1/3. So I had to, for my first fight in the UFC, give this guy 33 1/3 of that $20,000 bonus, bro. I was so pissed. But I got out of that contract through just because he through some help through the commission.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he was they see was obviously a kind of a snaky thing to do.
It was also your learning lesson, right?
A learning lesson,
You almost have to go through it to
learn
get
lesson, yeah. And then I had my coach was managing me for a little bit, doing the best he can. Found me another guy, which this guy was managing everybody.
Okay.
He managed everybody, and what he was doing is like he'd get sponsors to pay him, and then he divvies it up to the guys.
That's interesting.
I'm like, bro, what do you mean? The sponsors sponsor me, not you.
Right.
I don't even get a check from you. I just get a check from the sponsor. You know what I mean? And he kind of screwed me too. I couldn't even fire the guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to call him to do it like a man. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna go separate ways. I had to do it through text because he would never return my calls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So go ahead, brother.
So, are you more, fast forward now, are you more involved in that aspect of the business? Like, you have a manager. There's a lot of trust where, cool, you're my manager. Run this shit, make as much money as I can, book my fights or whatever. Do you have more, you're on top of it, I'm assuming?
Yeah, the guy I'm with now is
12 years, you said that, right?
Oh, yeah. I was his first client, pretty much. Ali Abdelaziz. I don't even know if you guys heard of him. He's pretty much like in the soap opera of UFC, he's a character. You know what I mean? And literally a character. He's a funny dude. Good guy. I trust him. I don't really worry about stuff with him. But I'm also on the other side of it, so I don't really deal with him on everything, but he's always got my back, I
wanted to touch on that a little bit. Do you see yourself fighting anymore ever again? Or you
I don't
it's
know.
hard to say no, right?
I mean, I'll never fight in UFC again, I don't think. I think I'm done with that. I could see maybe. I mean, I'll definitely do grappling. I'll do some grappling matches. I think I would love. I mean, if my body allows me, because some days I'm like, I get a month where I'm like, wow, I'm feeling good. I'm like, I would love to box. I always wanted to
bare knuckle.
I don't know about bare knuckle.
Okay, I mean,
I would.
I've been watching those, bro. I know. You see everybody's transferring over there now, right?
It's like bare knuckle. If I can get paid the same with boxing gloves, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you want to keep
crazy.
You want to keep your wits about you, right?
Well, actually, believe it or not, I think boxing gloves you can probably hit harder than you can with bare knuckle.
Okay,
well, it's just because you're
not going to break your hand as easily.
Yeah,
you pull back a little bit. You feel like if you're not.
I mean, my hands suck, dude. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need the wrap. I need the from my hands. I kind of need to hold on to something. If there's nothing there, that shit would hurt my hands, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, you broke your knuckles almost.
I mean, my hands are just my fingers go different ways and stuff. Yeah,
Let's get into that a little bit. Injuries, bro. Your list has to be
yeah. I mean, luckily, I've only had probably 4 surgeries. I have my hips replaced. I had groin surgery and 2 back surgeries. So that's not too bad.
The orbital's good.
I broke my face 3 times.
Wow.
two times one side and 1 time another side. Yeah.
And it just healed, or you repaired?
Yeah,
it?
no, I never had to get surgery. Yeah.
Who broke the other side? I have a guess, but I don't.
A Korean Zombie.
Oh wow.
Korean Zombie, left hook. Yeah.
Yeah, dude hits.
I mean, yeah, I get that he's hit me in the right spot.
Yeah,
that's
true too, right? I mean, it was.
I mean, I was still with it too. I just, it definitely was rocked, but yeah. And then another guy was just a trainer. I kind of shot same time he threw a spinning heel kick, and he barely hit the corner of my cheekbone. Just it literally went off, and I knew right away. My face went numb. I go, it's broke. My coach was like, what? I go, it's broke. He's like, dude, get out of here. I went to the doctor. Fucking
it was broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Gray Maynard, bro. Because I just remember watching those fights and getting amped up and fucking. Is that your biggest rivalry?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, we're cool, It was definitely. Yeah, that was the biggest rivalry.
Just he seemed like a dick, bro. Like from my perspective, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he just was competitive.
He was like a bully, right?
We see each other. He's cool shit.
Oh,
what's up, man?
Yeah.
But he. I mean, that's just the nature. You're about to fight someone. You got to act tough and stuff.
When you watch that fight, is that like one of the best performances of your life? I mean,
I think it's up there. It's up there.
It's got to be, bro.
As far as grit and guts and all that, yeah, it's got to be.
Because that could have been stopped how many times, bro?
Yeah, the second one rather. And I fought him 3 times.
You fought him 3 times, right?
Yeah,
second one, first round, right?
Yeah.
You got dropped, you rolled, you spun, you got out of it, you got dropped again.
Even
I mean, that's one of the greatest fights of all time, bro.
I got dropped,
dude hits hard, right?
He cracks, yeah. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Like, again, I probably weighed 155 pounds. He probably weighed, I don't know, people are saying like 80, 85 maybe.
Think about that, bro. When these guys, when they rehydrate, right?
Yeah.
He was a big dude. Yeah. You could see him get in the ring.
Oh, yeah. Different.
At what point did you move down? Like,
I moved down after I lost to Benson Henderson the second time.
Okay.
Which I don't think I lost, but,
I don't think you did either.
The judges did.
But, I mean, to your point, these guys walk around at 80, right?
Yeah, well, Benson, he might even be bigger. He's been fighting 70 the last part of his career,
Right.
So, yeah, he was a big boy, too.
You just like the challenge or what?
Yeah, I mean, my thing was this, like, then 45 came into the UFC at the time. So I could have had the option.
Okay. You were just stubborn, or you like to fight?
I was the champ at the time.
It didn't matter,
and
right?
I feel like I won both those fights. Like I went down just because my coach finally wore on me. He's like, dude. And my whole idea was I wanted to be once I had that title, I wanted that title again. So when I lost to Benson, I got the rematch, and then I lost that, which I thought the rematch I even won more concisely.
I think
whatever.
I think you won the second one for sure, hands down.
Whatever. That's it. So I knew the way back to the title would be tough because I fought him twice.
Right.
So I figured the best way to a title shot would be at 45. So that's when I went down and I fought Aldo the first time.
What was that like?
It was a good fight, man. I mean, I'm sounding like a little baby, but I thought I won that fucking fight too. But it was close. It was a very close fight. We both had our moments.
It was razor.
That
close.
was super close. But he's a talent, man. Especially the second fight. I think I laid an egg the second fight a little bit.
Okay.
But man, he's just so elusive, I guess.
I was gonna say, how does that happen when you get in there?
You grab him. He's like, I don't know,
can't
say
get him,
slippery,
right?
but it's hard to get a hold.
No, but some guys, they say some guys are slippery, right?
Like grease. I think they grease. Yeah. I think there's some.
Because you grab them and you just can't get them. You can't get your hands on them.
They put some stuff on, and when they sweat in the fight, it just comes off. Yeah.
So talk to me about your first championship fight and like leading up to it, and give me a little bit of that. I want to feel it, Yeah, I'm a fight fan, bro. So I want to walk me through it, dude.
Yeah, I fought BJ Penn in Abu Dhabi actually.
Was that the first Abu Dhabi?
That was the first one. It was outdoors too. It was the only outdoor fight I think in UFC history.
What was it like fighting outdoors, bro?
Felt like seaside, baby.
Midway in the background, dude.
No lie. When I'm fighting him, I seen bugs whipping by us. I'm like, wow, this is fucking great.
Seaside, I love it. And that was at 55.
That was a 155. Yeah. At the time, BJ was the boogeyman. He was literally running through everybody. Sean Shirk, Joe Daddy Stevenson, Kenny Florian, Diego Sanchez. He kicked Diego Sanchez's head open. He licking the blood off of.
I remember that, bro. Off his mitts.
They thought like I was gonna be everybody wrote me. I was like one of the biggest underdogs in UFC history. I think.
Right.
And I mean, I don't even. I could see why, because he was fucking killing people.
Right.
I mean, I barely believed it.
He reminds me of like Anderson Silva when he was on his run.
Oh, yeah.
People just
Anderson
didn't even.
Silva fought that night too.
Did
actually.
he?
Yeah. He fought Damian Maia that night. Had like crazy, like a real bad fight. Actually, he was talking. I don't know if you remember. He was talking junk to Maia, but not engaging him. Dana was pissed about that fight.
I don't really remember that. I remember the outdoor at Abu Dhabi. I gotta think back. I killed a lot of brain cells in my day, but
me too.
But what was that like, dude? At the like
being out there?
Yeah, just
it's I mean, have you ever been out to the Middle East or anything?
But Phil's supposed to take me to Abu Dhabi this year for my birthday.
You in Abu Dhabi?
I stopped over. Really.
Okay.
I went to Africa like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Stopped over.
Oh wow, that's cool. Where in Africa?
Zambia.
Oh really?
Zimbabwe.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was I know we're going to segue, but like I went there for a trip. Me and my partner Dave and a friend. It was like an adventure trip and to help out, and it's like you come back with gratitude.
Oh yeah. Well, you helped out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was like a combination of personal development and everything. But like you go there, everybody's happy. You come back to Jersey, you're like you don't got a reason to complain.
I know.
Everybody's just like smiling. Like they're all educated. Right. They just ain't got no jobs.
Wow.
So like you're out there like building huts and stuff like that, helping them with the schools, feeling good. And then we were talking about purpose before. Like you come back and you're like, I understand why.
Yeah. Right. That's cool.
Are you bringing water like to villages and shit? I mean,
no bullshit. Like they have no
running water, right?
So they have like the river there, right? That goes into Victoria Falls, and it's got to get pumped. And so like the schools, that 800 kids, a lot of females. Just think about it. There's they're on their periods and shit like that, right? They're young girls sometimes. Like there's no running water.
Wow.
It's as simple as that. So we like donated water and filtration systems so that they could use it, but
that's wild. I don't even think of that aspect of it, right?
I didn't either until you get there.
Yeah, there's so many different facets that you just take for granted in our life, Why is everybody pissed off in Jersey like they got something to do or something?
Jersey.
You don't think so?
No,
I feel like it is, dude.
Like,
I don't know. I go to Florida. I got a place down there, and people are happy, dude. I'm walking my dogs around the neighborhood, and everybody's like, hey. Yeah, first 2 days, you're like, fuck you. Yeah. After a week, you're like, what's up, Mr. Smith?
I know. It's like, contagious.
It really is,
definitely, dude. It goes with the curse, and it's definitely a thing of sarcasm in Jersey and New York.
Just cutting on it. Like people come to here. It's like a lot of people come to Jersey to train, throughout the years. And you know how we are. We're always like just cutting on it. Some people don't know how to take that, especially other cultures. They definitely don't know how to take it. But
I have my cousin in here from Paris, right? And he's like with me. I'm fucking ruthless on. You know what I mean? It's just like, and he came here. I'm like, look, we're real aggressive here. We mean well. We push really hard. But on the flip side, like we're aggressive. And,
it's just.
breaking balls is like a pastime.
Yeah,
like I look for if you're my people, like
like you try to get somebody where it fucking hurts.
And if you find something that really hurts them, you just lay on it for fucking hours, dude, months, years, right? I got group chats where I'll say 2 words, the same thing every time for months. When you find something that gets somebody, but that's like that Jersey spirit, right? Like a little defensive, a little bit chip on your shoulder. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Like that's what that is.
And that's why I think we're good at a lot of sports, man.
There's no doubt about
very good at a lot of sports because it's the dog eat dog world here. You got to compete.
Super competitive, absolutely.
I think food goes that way too. I was talking with a couple people, and obviously you're in that game. It's like you got to be fucking great or just your shit.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no real mediocre.
Bro, I would take. I've been a lot of places. I guess something not more than a lot of people, but more than most people. I guess you say, you know. And I still think the East Coast is probably the best food in the world.
Absolutely.
I haven't been to Italy yet. I haven't been. To, I'm sure those places are fucking.
Are you going soon or what?
I want to. That's the plan.
All right,
for a while.
We'll be there in August. I'll meet you out there, bro.
For a while, but
take you to dinner.
So but I'm saying Italy, you're gonna get the best Italian food probably, right? But here you get the best of everything, man.
Right,
you really do. You really do.
Yeah, there's all different cultures, right?
Yeah.
Backgrounds.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's the competitiveness over here, right? Yeah, it's like you have to fucking be good. There's no, if you're gonna get the thing is too, like you're gonna get a slice of pizza, you're gonna talk about it.
Hell
right?
Yeah.
You're like everybody's got their place and they're just so passionate and everything. You go anywhere else, they're like, it's all right.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit too much. But and I think that comes out in sports and everything.
Definitely.
So you said you had 3 kids. What are their ages?
I got a 14, 13, and a 9. I got 2 boys and a girl. My daughter's the youngest.
I'm close. I'm 15, 12, and 9.
Okay, yeah,
right now.
There,
Dog,
right there.
girl, boy, girl. So
okay, girl, boy, girl.
Yep.
All right.
You got 2 boys. They both wrestle.
Yes. One wrestles more than the other. My older, he's into football.
Okay.
My middle guy, he's the one that's all in. He wants to fight and everything.
He wants to fight.
He does. Yeah. I'm kind of like, let's just worry about wrestling now.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about that. Like, at what point in your career did you decide bringing your kids to the fights was the right move?
Yeah. Once they were old enough, once my boys were old enough,
and they asked you, or you asked them, or
I think they asked me.
And your wife was cool with it, and like,
yeah,
she's just down, right? Your wife seems like the coolest,
Yeah. I mean, this is what I do. It's
this daddy's work, right?
Yeah, this is what it is.
Go to work with Dad Day, right?
Yeah,
like that's what it is.
Yep.
Were you hesitant about bringing your daughter? Like,
well, I brought her the last one just because it was the last one,
right?
And that was the only one. But she's young. She was the youngest one out of all of them, so
Are they worried about like Dad getting hurt, or especially?
Yeah, I'm sure in the moment, but they see me right after, and I'm fine.
And they know you've done it before.
Yeah. It's gonna take a little more than that. It's gonna run me over with some car or something,
There's no doubt you can take a shot, bro. Nobody's ever questioned your toughness in any way, shape, or form. I mean, you fought probably the best up and coming guys there were at the end of your career. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
You were like the gatekeeper, right? I mean, essentially. I mean,
I mean, I was,
I don't want that to seem negative in any way, but like, that's what it became.
I guess I was always fighting the top guys. Even
always
to the very end, I was fighting top guys that were in the top 10, top 5 for the most part.
Right.
So some guys like they'll continue their careers and they'll fight like the 15s or the 20s, and I probably could have done that.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Like,
you just weren't into it anymore.
I still wanted to compete. But like my whole thing was, if I can't be the best, then I want to do it. Like that's why I got into this, to be the best. And even to 3 fight. I know the end of my career didn't probably go the way I wanted it to go.
Right.
But I do feel.
Who were your last 3 fights? Just so everybody.
My
knows,
last 3. Well, it was Chris Gutierrez was the last one. Then Cheeto Vera. And then Sanhagen.
I mean, those guys are
they're
number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
Cheeto and Sanhagen are number 1 and 2, right?
I mean, that's what I mean. Like if I won any of those fights, I mean, I
you arguably get another shot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
that's... that was as long as I was in that picture. But after my last fight, I'm like, can I go fight at 15? I know I can still compete,
for sure.
But can I go fight at 15? This guy, that guy, I could, but. That's not what I did this for.
That's not who you are, right?
Yeah.
How many do you still train every day?
I do. I help guys out. I help guys that are coming up. I'm still training. I'm looking for space right now. I'm probably the closest I've been to a place, to open my own school.
Well, that's what brings us to now, right? Yeah. What's next for Frankie?
What's in the pot?
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now, like my sole focus is to get this gym up and running.
Okay.
An academy, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Mixed Martial Arts Academy. Definitely focusing a lot on the youth, but adults as well. In my hometown, I've been associated with gyms a lot. I have a gym in Wayne that I'm associated with, UFC Fit.
Okay.
I go up there and teach sometimes, but I need something that's solely mine. And
right.
You want to do something right, you got to do it yourself, as you know.
No doubt about it. Is your wife still working?
No, she hasn't worked since my daughter has been born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to have that, right?
Yeah,
have that
absolutely,
option.
man. She carts the kids around, 3 kids doing sports is a pain in the ass,
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
my wife literally is my kid's personal assistant.
Yeah, exactly.
Between washing uniforms and fucking, I'm telling you, bro. Either she's coaching or it's funny. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all she does. Like, what are you doing today? She'll go down the list, bringing this one here, then bringing this one here, and then bringing. I'm happy to go to work.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Some days I'm just like, have a great day.
So you're like the breadwinner right now.
Yeah. Yep.
And so like, give us a day in the life, like, what does it consist of? I know you train and everything, you train other people.
Yeah. My day is kind of, right now, because I'm kind of in limbo with the gym, but a day, like, I get up, I do an ice bath every morning. That's what I do. I've been doing it for the past, like, honestly, the past 2, I know everyone's talking like this, gets annoying here, people talk about it, but I've been doing it for the past, like, 2 months, and it's fucking incredible, man. It really is.
What does it do for you?
I don't,
How long are you in there? Let's start there.
3 minutes. No less than 3, but between 3 and 6. I go.
And that's your first, like, you get up.
I get up in the morning,
right
go to the bathroom, and I go right out there.
Wow.
No decision, no nothing.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I pick a song. I don't even do a timer.
That's your non-negotiable.
I let the song go. I get out. Yeah.
What song? You play the same song every day?
No, song, whatever.
Okay.
So whatever, you know.
Are they like, is it like Freebird, 10 minutes long?
No. Well, no.
You said 3 minutes, bro.
I've done 6. I've done 6 is the longest I've done. I'll do like maybe 2 songs if I can, but yeah.
Wait a minute. Have you done 6 after a sauna though? There's a difference, right?
No,
or you do it first thing in the morning?
First thing in the morning.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
Does it set your mind for the day? You're just like, there's nothing anybody could do to me today.
Like, don't just because for the ritual, but I don't even need it. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you're jacked after that.
You're good to go.
What is that?
Heart rate up. Right?
Yeah. And
40 degrees.
37. I can get it down to 36, 37. Yeah. It's but I fucking love it. Like I used to, because I used to do them at nighttime.
Okay.
And I always said, I'm gonna do them in the morning. And I would always find a reason not to do them.
Right.
Now I'm finding reasons to do them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, I ain't gonna do it today. And I'm like, why not? Just get in the bitch, and I go and do it.
You love doing it?
I do, man.
Most people I know that do it, they do it and they say, I fucking hate it.
I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of like it right now, for real.
Now you're in it.
Yeah, I'm in it. I like it.
Is there ever a point
when it gets cold out, and then I'm going to say,
I was going to say,
I'll reevaluate.
I was going to say, too, is there ever a day where you're like, bro, maybe I need to go in a second time today?
Well, no,
you don't love it that much, do you?
No, well, I will. At the end of the night, sometimes I'll go in the sauna, and then I'll go, from the sauna, I'll go in there.
Okay.
A little bit. But that's almost refreshing, you know?
Right, yeah, like you almost need it, right? Like to cool down quick.
Yeah. But I'll do that, then I'll go to the gym usually, either work out myself or train someone. Train a couple guys over at Nicatone's, help them out, come home, and then it's take my kids to practice, wrestling, this or that.
Is that your source of income, is training?
Yeah, right now, kind of.
You made a couple bucks,
yeah,
right?
I got some. I'm living on some money.
You did all right. Some money right now. You did all right, right? You're not going back to plumbing anytime soon.
I do have some passive income as well. You know, and,
what from what, like real estate, or like what did you?
Real estate, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some investments.
Did you make some good investments? Did you?
Yeah.
You did the right thing.
Yeah. Plus, you know, the gyms I'm associated with as well. You know,
cool.
Stuff like that.
So you got recurring revenue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's checks. There's food in the fridge.
At least for the meantime.
Gas in the tank.
Stuff for the meantime.
But you're competitive, so you're already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly, you know, it's you're 40, you retire. I'm 41 years old. It's kind of crazy to say, you know.
Right.
And
you're only at halftime, bro.
You know, but then, and at the time, you're like, it seemed daunting though. You know, like, damn, I got to start from scratch. I fucking, you know, built it. I put so much time into something. I got to start from scratch. But like I said, I had that guy Frankie Edgar on the podcast, and like I knew nothing about him, but then learned, you know, from having on the pod, he was a lawyer, he was a gym owner, he was a construction guy,
right?
And I'm like, damn,
what does he do now, bro?
He owns dispensaries now.
I didn't even know that.
So I'm like, man, this guy was all jacked and pumped about it. I'm like, dude, that makes me feel like, damn, I'm fucking half this guy's age almost. You know
I remember he was an attorney, right? Was he a divorce attorney?
He was a divorce attorney,
That's
and
so
a prosecutor,
funny, bro. How do you like stop being an attorney? It seems like a pretty good gig.
He got this barred.
Okay, not by choice. Okay, all right,
that helps.
We see that. So that's what's next. The gym.
So yeah, the gym. Like I do the podcast. You know, I'm not a big revenue
stream. Not yet.
Not yet.
You're not on year 7.
I'm going to be in a movie. I'm in a movie.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, I filmed it already. It's coming out July 27th. It'll be on Amazon. You can rent it.
Very cool.
What is it?
It's called Bastard Son.
Okay.
Bastard Sons.
Okay.
It's like a gangster flick. Yeah. It's actually it's pretty. It was good. We were in a couple film festivals.
Nice.
Won a couple awards, I think.
That's your first acting gig?
Not really. But my first like real acting gig. I've done a commercial for Fox. That was like pretty crazy though, because that was like literally like a whole like Hollywood set. There was like hundreds of people on set, and it was for a commercial, and I did not anticipate that. But Fox shot it. You know, it was for Fox when UFC was on Fox.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a cool experience. Then I was on Kickboxer 2, not the old one, but the new one, series Kickboxer 2. I just played I played myself.
Like, was that based on Jean-Claude Van Damme Kickboxer?
Yeah, it's like. The new guy played his character, I guess.
All right.
You know? I think Mike Tyson, a whole bunch of people.
You were reoccurring on there?
No, just once. I just was. I played like Joe, like me being Joe Rogan. You know, being the commentator.
Oh, got it. Did you met Mike Tyson?
I met Mike Tyson. Yeah. Oh, in passing, I met him one time. We had my manager's really good friends with him. So we had like a press like summit at his the ranch. What's it called? What's his ranch? When he used to have that ranch, the weed ranch. I forget what it was called.
The name of it.
Like Tyson's Ranch or some shit. Yeah,
you trying to get him on the pod or what?
No, everybody was all over him, so I didn't. I shook his hand and kind of kept it moving, so I didn't want to bother him. Everyone was bothering him.
We got to get him on the pod.
Yeah, he'd be amazing.
My buddy's friends with him too from Law and Order and everything, and I'm not gonna put his name out there, but we're squeezing him.
Yeah,
you said Law and Order, it made me think of Ice-T. I don't know why. He lives right here,
he's
bro.
Friends with
Does
Ice-T,
he really?
He lives right on the water, right?
Yeah.
Is he in Weehawken?
No, I don't think so.
Vanessa did their place.
Fort Lee or something.
Vanessa De Leon designed their place. I'm gonna have to use that. Yeah, we're starting to think, bro. Who could we? You know what I mean? Like, listen, if we can get you on, then sky's the limit for me, bro.
Let's go.
I don't have any ceiling.
But it's cool. You're putting in. It sounds like you're putting in a lot of work right now, right? And obviously, when something does hit, they're going to be like overnight success. You know what I mean? You got the podcast, you got the gym going, you got sponsorships from other gyms, you got the acting and everything, right? Like, cool. I know you want the gym, but like, what do you really want? Like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? Where do you want this gym to go, or where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
I mean, I would love for my gym to be super successful.
Paint a picture. What does that look like?
I think have like a good culture at the gym. You know what I mean? And we do like elite wrestling, right? That's my buddy's club. But I've been associated. I was probably the first elite wrestler. Now my kid.
I thought you owned it. I mean, literally, I look it up, I Google it, and you're there on the mat. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's Frankie's gym in Jackson.
My kid goes there. He coached his son. His son like was a training part. Like, you know what I mean? It's all full circle. Like
family.
And he created. We just did a wrestling camp. It's actually going on right now. A wrestling camp this week. It's like Better Everyday Camp. And it's just like such a good community, such a good, like, I guess like the little kids are helping the older kids, or the whole older kids helping the younger kids. It all comes full circle, and that's kind of what I want to create in my gym. You know what I mean? Something like that. Something where it's like
almost like a boys and girls club kind of thing.
Like that's just like more family oriented. Like it's for the community. Like this is something that's in. Tom's River made me who I am. You know what I mean? I always shout out Tom's River when I fight. And if I can get back to the community, that's great.
And win at the same time.
Yeah, and win at the same time. Yeah, for sure. You want to be successful.
No doubt.
That's how you make the wheels go around.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's hard to give back when you're not successful.
Yeah. Right.
Take care of you. So if you do that first and help it out, and you just like the gym, you want to just like this logo, or you're looking to like?
Yeah, I mean, right now, do my first one. Yeah, I'm gonna rent the space. I would love to maybe buy something eventually, and then even like I mean, my son, hopefully, my sons or my daughter, she does just a little bit. If they want to get into the family business, or if I raise a kid that comes through my ranks and he wants to create something, maybe set up another like franchise type ability, something like that.
You want to create legacy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what do they say? When you die twice, right? When you die, and then when the last time someone says your name, right? How do you build legacy? So my thing is like, how can you get someone to say your name? It's like, get to your kids, right? Yeah, your kids will build your legacy. So that's the way to do it. And maybe not just my kids, I could build through the kids in the town too.
Help everybody else.
Yeah.
And get back.
I mean, like I said, my house is like everyone hangs out in my house. We got mats in my basement. There's box gloves everywhere. There's kids always boxing in my basement. I'm like, yo, no head, no face shots, no head shots. Like Tom's for kids, they think they're tough. Like I want to give them a place. All right, let's really learn how to be tough here.
But that's important, bro. You never know what not only who's going to come out of there, but it's a good safe space for them to hang out and really get rid of some of that energy.
Yeah,
bro,
some of that angst and stuff like that. And I know it's helped me a bunch. I mean, I'm sure if I didn't have wrestling, I probably would not been a successful person. 100%. You know, I need to get that energy outlet out. Right. I had a lot of energy, and I mean, I still do today. That's why I get up in the morning, fucking jump in a cold plunge every day. You know
would have been a different life if you didn't have wrestling.
Yeah, if I didn't, I'm sure. I don't know if I would have been as like wrestling kept me straight too. Like I said, I ran with a lot of different people. I was like, I don't know, a popular kid, I guess you could say. Like I ran with the wrestlers. I ran with the kids that like to party. I ran, with everybody. Right. The 90210 kids. Like I could mix it up with all of them. Right. And wrestling always kept me focused. Like, though, people are like, oh, you wrestlers, I won't even see you. I'm like, yeah, because got goals, But then I can still mix it up in the summer. So, that
down in Seaside.
Yeah, definitely. Fleece side. Huh?
What gave you direction, right? Pretty much.
It gives you direction, man. You know, so I think it's great to have that access for kids around.
What's your number one memory in the fight game? It's got to be an image that's standing out in there.
Two. Like when I came home and won the title, they had a parade waiting for me when I got to my hometown. It was late at night too. Our flight was so like backed up, and they were sitting at like the Kohl's parking lot, all like in a parade, waiting for me. And then when I came in, I went on the fire truck, and they took me home. So
awesome.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's how you go out.
yeah. It was dope.
Never forget that one. So you think you're gonna end up training your kids? Like, are you gonna be?
Oh, I mean, I coach them wrestling. I coach them wrestling now. You know, I do mitts with my one son because he always wants to hit mitts and stuff.
Right.
You know, of course, if he wants to do it, I'm gonna give him the ability and avenue to pursue it. I'm not trying to steer clear. Oh, I mean, nobody wants to see their kid fight, probably.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's hard. You know, you can give them all the advantages because you've been through it all. Like, but at the same time, you want to be like, you sure you don't want to be a lawyer? Or,
I mean, but I can't stop him. Like, no one can stop me. You know, so I can't stop him. But so if he's gonna do it, I'm gonna give him the best ability to be successful.
Make sure he does it right.
Yeah.
You see it in his eyes. You think he's gonna be a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, he has it. He has it.
He has it.
Yeah, he has it already.
Is he a little guy? I mean,
he's tight. It's funny. My oldest is like my height already, 145 pounds, and then he is probably like he's like 70, 80 pounds. He's a little guy. So.
And how old is he?
He's 13. Yeah.
He didn't sprout yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
What do they wrestle at 13 if he's 70 pounds? I mean, is that a class?
Yeah, he wrestled 70 last year at
high
state.
School's 105, right? Is
that he'll be 106 is high school, so he's got a couple years to go there.
Now that you mentioned that, does that give you a competitive edge that you think you're always up against the bigger guy? I mean, is it like help you get in there and tear it up? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I think. When you're a little dude, everyone thinks they're gonna get on.
They're gonna dog you, right? They're gonna dog you and rag you around, and you're like,
and I used to love showing them different.
I'm sure you still do, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How many hours you spend in the gym?
I mean, I'm there, in the morning. Like, back in the day, I was there all the time, man. I was there all the time for my training sessions. You're there all the time. I mean, that's a way of life, right? Once you have a fight locked in, you're. That's it. Even now, I was the type of guy that fought, and then I would take a week off, and I'm back in the gym anyway.
You have that mentality.
I mean, that's why I think I was able to stay on top for so long. I mean, I think I was in the top 10 for 15 years, maybe.
That's crazy.
15 years, 14 years. Maybe top 5 for 10 years.
That's amazing.
That's a stretch, man.
Yeah,
amazing career. I can't thank you enough, man, for being on.
This is awesome. I
know they didn't put the wrap it up sign on, but I feel like we're at the hour. So
you wanna plug your podcast?
Yeah, Champ and the Tramp.
Who's the champ? Who's the tramp?
Looking at the champ. The Tramp's my man Roger Matthews from Jersey Shore fame.
Yeah, you love to dog him, don't you, bro?
He's just easy. It's low hanging fruit.
I see you guys kick it, bro. It's funny. It reminds me of my friends.
Yeah, he's great though. But yeah, I'm hopefully open this gym before the year's end. I mean, that's definitely the goal. And Bastard Sons, Amazon, July 27th.
We're definitely gonna watch that, bro.
It's not bad. It's actually it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Any big names in it? You said.
I mean, there's guys that that were that I mean you've definitely seen them before.
Fight
one
game?
of the main characters is he was one in the. You ever see the Temptations?
Yeah.
He was one of the Temptations.
Okay,
one of the main guys. Yeah.
So,
there's a couple Sopranos characters in there.
Right. New Jersey legend, Frankie Edgar. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Best of luck and everything, dude.